So just going back in time a little bit to last week, how's that experience for the guys being able to hold their own against kind of these professional ball players down there in Florida?
Yeah, the Sox game is an unbelievable experience. It's a blast for our guys. This being the 23rd consecutive year, but 25th year of the game, it's pretty amazing. You think about the multiple generations of players that have come through this program that have had that experience. We're so lucky to be able to have that relationship with the Red Sox, and the stories that come out of that, from guys over the years is awesome. This year was even extra special with us wearing those Frady's 3 jerseys and the Red Sox wearing the Pete Frady's jerseys. Having Pete's family down there, his mom, his dad, his wife, his daughter, having them all there for that game was awesome. Our boys were really excited about being able to do it. Really cool moment before the game when Nancy FaceTimed Pete in, and all the boys got to say what's up to him, and they're in communication with him constantly, both through the computer. He's on his computer all the time. So he's talking to our boys all the time, sending them messages through me at times, and so the whole day was a really, really cool experience, specifically this year because of Pete, but every year it's a great experience.
So jumping ahead to the FSU series, tough night at the plate for you guys on Friday night, 2 hits, no runs. Mike Compton, complete game shutout. What did you see from him that made him so successful?
Yeah, he was dominant. That was one of those games, we talked about it afterwards. As far as our offensive approach and what our boys were doing at the plate, we didn't have any real problem with it. He just kind of carved, and that's what you run into in the ACC sometimes. I mean, there are arms in this league that are capable of dominating any lineup. And that's what Compton did. He mixed his pitches. He doesn't have one dominant pitch. He has a great mix of pitches, and he can throw really any pitch in any count, and throw it for a strike and put him where he needs them. And that's really what he did. He just kept our boys off balance. And it was an impressive outing, and it was an impressive outing by a very good pitcher. So, like I said, it was just one of those ones that after the game, kind of regroup and say, hey, that's the ACC, boys. It happens sometimes. Johnny Gorman did the same thing the next day for 8 innings. So that's what you run into in our conference.
So moving on to John Gorman's start, 7 shutout innings, 10 Ks. Is this the kind of thing that you've been expecting from him?
Yeah, I mean, that's what Johnny's capable of. It's why we love playing behind him. It's why we love having him on the mound. He is, and he did it the week before too. He had against Kansas, hit a little bit of a rough patch and then settled back in and was dominant for, I think it was about 4 1/3 at the end of that game, and then carried that into Florida State. Anytime Johnny Gorman's on the mound, regardless of who we're playing, what we're doing offensively, what's going on, we know we're gonna have a chance to win the ball game, and that's why we love having him out there, and that's why this team rallies around him so much.
So going into that 8th inning, kind of the rough patch, was there any conversation about going in the bullpen for that one?
There was a little bit of conversation, but Johnny had kept getting stronger and stronger. The 6th and the 7th were his 2 best innings, and he's a bulldog. He's a horse for us out there as far as physically being able to handle, pitch counts. And I think we got him up to 115, which is about as high as I would have wanted him to go. I think 120 is too many. So we sent him out there at about, I'd have to look at, I think we sent him out there at about a little over 100, thinking, if he had an inning like he did in the 6th and the 7th, get us one more and then go to King in the 9th. And we wanted to give him a chance to go out there. And one of the things about Johnny Gorman is anytime you take him out of the ball game, you pretty much have to wrestle the ball out of his hands. This kid's such a competitive kid, and we love that. So, there was talk we were going to go to King in the 8th or the 9th, and the thing about Johnny is, he walked a guy in the 8th on 2 really close pitches. That kind of could have gone either way. It weren't bad calls or anything, just really, really close pitches. It wasn't like he was losing his stuff or losing his command. He threw a couple really good pitches, really good takes on really close strikes, and the umpire balled him. That's what happens. There was talk about it, but we have a ton of confidence in Johnny Gorman. We have a ton of confidence in Mike King.
So you guys also had a lead in Game 3. We're able to let that up, but does it kind of help you guys out to know that you can get a lead on these ACC teams?
Yeah, I mean, I like what our lineup's doing right now, and I think it's just going to continue to keep getting better and better as some of these guys kind of start to settle in. And I like the at-bats we're having. We all know what Shaw and Cronin and Strem are going to do in the middle. What Blake is doing, what Blake does. I think he's the best, if not in the conversation with the best second baseman in our conference. And what he's doing offensively is feels like he's on base all the time. Palamaki's giving us a great spark at the top now. I like what this lineup is. The top of this lineup is doing, and then you look at what Sauter and Scorantino and Casey and Logan and those guys are kind of doing towards the middle bottom. And this is a lineup that's going to have a chance to score a bunch of runs. We are going to have a chance to have leads early and leads late, and there's going to be all those different combinations coming up. And on Sunday, really came down to, we hung a breaking ball, and they hit it out, changed the game. Lukey's going to be great for us. He's going to have a ton of opportunities, and he's going to pitch us out of jams. And sometimes you hang a pitch, and when you hang a pitch against a good hitter like Busby is, they run it out.
So looking ahead, Louisville coming up this weekend, team that just took 2 out of 3 from Miami. Team looks like it has a really strong bullpen. Just allowed 12 of its 65 runs in the last 4 innings. So how important is it for you guys to kind of get out to an early start in that one like you've been doing?
Well, I think it's always important to get out to an early lead, right? But especially when you're running into a bullpen like Louisville has. Yeah, you're going to see big arms. There's going to be guys with really good stuff, big velocity coming out of that bullpen. We handle velocity well, but it's really good arms. But they also have good starting pitching. It's a very, very good ball club, and they were in the World Series last year. Dan McDonald is a hell of a baseball coach with a great staff. Their facilities are awesome. Looks like the weather's going to be cold down there, so we might feel at home, which is good. But it's going to be a great challenge for us. But we're used to that in the ACC, right? Every weekend you're going to see, starting pitching that has a chance to be dominant. You're going to see tremendous arms coming out of the bullpen, and you're going to see really good lineups. That's why this conference is so awesome. That's why we as a conference, that's why we love playing each other and banging heads. It's so competitive with so many good teams, and that's why at the end of every year you look at this conference, and now with 14 teams, there's going to be 10, 11 teams in the conversation to go to regional. It's this weekend's going to be a great challenge, but so are the next 9. Awesome. Thank you.